Bienvenidos a Uruguay! That just shows you what Uruguay is all about. Really nice people, educated, well-dressed, and in the old city we call Puerto Viejo. We are standing now in front of Teatro Solis, a theater built over 150 years ago. We are soon going to venture and see some of the old buildings in the historic downtown. Ciao! Perfecto! 1927. This is Uruguay's answer to the world's tallest building. 1927, this would be their Empire State Building. When it was built, it was the tallest building in South America. Can you imagine during its heyday what an event it must have been? It's called Palacio Salvo, but the structure and the style of the building is absolutely amazing. We are now in Plaza Independencia. Like every good Spanish capital, they have a beautiful plaza full of tropical palms and trees, generally a bronze with the person who discovered or saved the city. And this central plaza here, Ciudad Viejo, is absolutely breathtaking. Tiempo para disfrutar. It's time to relax. I'm sitting across the street from the 100-year-old Hotel Carrasco, spanning 12 kilometers of beaches and a beautiful sidewalk called Las Ramblas, 12 kilometers long, to see the offshore ships and to take in some of the beautiful beaches we have here in Montevideo in Uruguay. Built over 100 years ago, designed by a famous architect, Louis Mahler, this hotel has been completely restored and bought by Sofitel. Let's start inside in one of the restaurants. Here's the menu, and it says 1921, which is the name of the restaurant. It is also when the restaurant first opened its doors after being built for 7 or 8 years by a Swiss and an Italian architect. Looking at the menu, I see things like pulpo, octopus, racks of lamb, and picanha, beautiful cuts of filet mignon. This looks like a restaurant we're going to have to try. And of course the interior is absolutely beautiful. Check it out. Minasan konbanwa. Hajimemashite dozo yoroshiku. In other words, welcome everyone to the beautiful Japanese gardens here in the heart of Buenos Aires in Argentina. Taking up some 7 or 8 hectares, this garden, almost 60 years old, is exquisitely cultivated, featuring your classic bonsai trees, subtropical black pines, silk floss trees, with little monk parakeets flying overhead, building those huge condominium-sized nests. We have the mandatory giant carp, tropical koi, and nothing really celebrates open space like the minimalist plantings of a Japanese garden. The relationships of large rocks to small rocks, the way space is celebrated. This provides an oasis of tranquility in a bustling city, and it just feels good. Welcome to Punta del Este. We're at the yacht club where we have a few prestigious visitors. These are absolutely giant sea lions. I bet you they go upwards of 250 kilos, and they seem to be the local residents here. Well, it seems another one of the local delicacies is mejillones, the mussels. And he's sorting them. There's a little grate at the bottom for all the little tiny mussels to sift through, so that only the larger ones for restaurant consumption are there. But I'm not sure what kind of crab it is, but it looks very much like a miniature Honey, I Shrunk the Stone crab. I hope we have to do 100 takes of this shot today. We're all mussels. There's only one way to find out if they're good or not. I could probably eat 500 of these. Swear to God, they're better than an oyster. We've just arrived in Piriopolis. It's about an hour and a half from Montevideo, but it is famous, this town is famous for the ley lines, powerful magnetic strips of energy. When the construction on this castle was begun, they brought in exotic plants, such as Dracaena drago, imported from the Canary Islands. This is about 130 years old and is a botanist's dream. All the massive chirping you hear around me are monk parakeets, which have made their home. They built huge communal nests, sometimes with several hundred individuals. We're looking at a cross that was constructed in 1894 from solid granite, almost 30 meters tall. It was one of the many projects started by Francisco Piria, the founder of Piriopolis. This place is full of miracles. Many mediums come here, and I know why. From the second floor of Castillo Francisco Piria, I'm standing inside a turret. This was one of the turrets constructed in 1894, with the entire castle taking over 3 years to build from solid granite. Quite a feat when you consider when it was done. This was one of his 3 or 4 castles, as he was a very wealthy alchemist. We finally arrived. We are here on top of Piriopolis. This is a special lookout. We're at least 400 meters, maybe 1,200 feet above sea level. We're surrounded by aloe vera in flower. You can look out and see the Atlantic Ocean. There's a lighthouse behind us. We're about 30 kilometers from Punta del Este, the famous vacation spot where all the Uruguayans go during summer. Right now, it's the onset of winter, so it's a bit chilly. It's probably 65 degrees with a 15-knot gust of wind coming off of the Atlantic Ocean. But the view from here is marvelous. Uruguay is a very special country, and Piriopolis is one of its real jewels. Welcome to the Bodega Winery called Boza, one of the most visited wineries here in Montevideo. I would like to present Cristina. She's going to take us on a tour of the vineyard and the herb garden that the restaurant uses, as well as some of the special things they do here. Cristina, este bodega está famoso para ¿cuál variedades de uvas?
Bueno, tenemos 5 variedades de uva, pero las más destacadas son, bueno, el Tanat, porque en Uruguay es la variedad más plantada.
So, they grow 5 different varietals of wines here, but of course the most famous is something called Tanat.
This is the first step of the process. Here's where we select our grapes. The first table is a shaking table, and here is mostly like a check-in because the grapes come very selected from the vineyard.
It's quite a selection process.
It's a hard selection process, but it guarantees a very high quality in the wine.
Cristina, I'm looking down at what looks like a very special vault. Why are these wines getting such special attention?
Well, this is like a file that we have been made. It's like our library of wines.
My only hope is that we can reduce our inventory from 40 to 39. Isn't it a good feeling to be surrounded by all these juicy barrels of red wine? Well, how's this for a cool place? What better place to end a beautiful month here in Uruguay than Punta del Este? We are surrounded by 15 hang gliders, like flying acrobats. It's a windy day. We've got 20-mile-an-hour winds gusting off of the ocean. We're surrounded by rolling hills and an exquisite hotel that looks like it was built by Aladdin. They have a floating house that we've been invited to. It's basically at the end of these rocks. So we're going to take a look at what these guys do after they fly around all day. This is so cool.
El lugar es muy bonito, ¿viste? Es un lugar muy...
The surroundings here are called Laguna del Sauce, and it's a bird sanctuary among other things. Summertime, it is littered and filled with roseate spoonbills, garças, swans, egrets. The place is nothing but pink, white, and yellow. We call these ninhals in Brazil. They're rookeries, and they come back year after year to the same place. Since this entire natural basin serves as the groundwater for all of the surrounding communities, they take good care of it. This is potable water. You can drink this water. It's nice to know you're in one of the few places in the world where things are as they used to be. He was the first person to start paragliding here in Punta del Este. He's been doing it a long time. He has little touch-tone feet. You've never seen anything like it. I'm Randall Quirk, and we're here in probably the greatest wonder of the world, Iguazu Falls. Originally called Iguachu by the Guarani Indians, this is the confluence of two great rivers, the Paraná and Iguazu. They join here to form the greatest waterfall on the planet. To match this, we have coatimundis dancing along the trails, wild orchids, wild passion flower, and so many things that make this place one of the most special places in the world. Unreal. One word. This is the superior part, the upper part of Iguazu Falls, here on the Argentinian side. The Paraná River is ragingly full as it rains over 150 days a year here. We've just spotted a myriad of tropical butterflies and of course the vicious little coatimundis that look cute until they steal all of your food. The waterfalls here are called saltos, and we have Salto Adam and Salto Eve, like Adam and Eve, and Salto Mbigua, obviously named from the Guarani Indians. Iguazu itself means big water or grand water. Behind me is Ilha San Martin. You can take a boat ride once you climb down the waterfall, and then you reclimb this mountain, which is just a pinnacle surrounded by the world's most beautiful waterfalls, with swallows diving right through the waterfalls. It's the most amazing place. Just behind me is Brazil. Of course, you need a separate visa to get to Brazil, and the beautiful pink Hotel das Cataratas has stood there for many, many years. I've witnessed many a raiding party of Toco toucans trying to attack nests of the little yellow-bellied caciques, sometimes successfully. They're not as cute as you think. Bienvenidos a Recoleta! In other words, welcome to Recoleta, one of the grooviest neighborhoods here in Buenos Aires. Well, these lovely girls, which constitute Charlie's Angels plus 2, I had to stop them because none of their feet are even close to touching the ground. These girls are about 6 inches off the ground with their platform heels. Vamos a ver los zapatos, chicas, eh? Oh! I tell you what, if this is how the women are here, we've got a lot to look forward to when they grow up. Muchísimas gracias. Ah! After 25 years of traveling through South America, there's one place that has always caught my imagination, and that's right here. We are in Recoleta, one of the most beautiful neighborhoods here in Buenos Aires, in Argentina. I'm just passing a German restaurant called Munich Recoleta, surrounded by these silk floss trees native to the border of Brazil and Argentina. People are having little coffees, little sparkling waters, eating grilled octopus and lomo, some of the famous cuts of beef here in Argentina. This here, Tortoni, is one of the most famous restaurants and coffee shops here. Está abierta ahora?
La Biela.
Oh, La Viela.
No Tortoni.
Oh, La Viela, excuse me. So many restaurants, so little time. I'll tell you what, there's not many trees that produce a canopy so large that 4 entire outdoor restaurants can dine underneath it. These are the huge umbu trees. They're native to here. They produce massive buttress root systems and an enormous canopy. It's one of the things that make the neighborhood here of Recoleta so special. ¿Y cuál es su nombre?
Natalia.
Her name is Natalia. ¿Usted es el director del grupo?
Sí.
She's the director of this group, and it's a very powerful group. Adolfo here has been dancing with several partners for the last 10 years. Jessica, ¿cuántos años usted está bailando aquí o en varios lugares?
Caminito hace 1 año y 3 meses.
She's been dancing in this area called Caminito, a beautiful little colorful barrio, only 30 minutes from Buenos Aires. Well, seems I've made some new friends here in Buenos Aires. This park is famous for the strolling musicians called caminantes. And to my right, I have Luis y Juan, the #1 duo that play tango music and all the wonderful ethnic music made famous here in Buenos Aires.
Chiflado en mi tristeza, hoy te evoco y veo que has sido bien mi pobre vida paria, solo una buena mujer. Tu presencia de bacana puso calor en tu nido, fuiste buena y consecuente si yo sé que me has querido, como no quisiste a nadie, como no podrás querer.
We're coming to you from the cemetery here in Recoleta with some of the most beautiful tombs anywhere in the world. This is the tomb of one person, obviously one very important person, adorned with angels, black Italian marble. This is the same cemetery where Eva Perón is interred, about 2 blocks down. It's a beautiful day, and this is truly one wild place. We've got it all going on here in Buenos Aires. We've just gone from the traditional to the bizarre. But nothing like expressing yourself. That's what open parks are all about. He's got it going on. I'm Randall Quirk. Thank you for watching.